Hello, welcome to week 3 of Two Guns Pick-6 Party. I'm Brooke Kromer, joined by my guy TwoGun. Oh my God, can't even talk today. How are you doing? Are you ready for another shot at DraftKings Pick-6 contest?
I'm definitely trying. Let's just leave it at that. I've been doing a lot better at Pick-6 this year than I have at the regular DFS. Like regular DFS with me, it's just like lose, 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 big win, lose, 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 big win. Whereas I'm in that like lose, lose part of the season with DFS, but I've been actually winning a little bit at NFL Pick-6. And it kind of made me realize like this game is actually, I feel like I don't everyone saying anything is easy to win, but it's definitely easier to beat your opponents at Pick-6 right now, in my opinion, than at DFS. And it makes sense if you think about it, right? Like DraftKings DFS has been around since 2012. I've been doing this since you were probably like 5 years old or something like that, Brooke. I don't know. But Pick-6 really just started this year in terms of NFL. Like at least out in Texas, this is the first NFL season I could play Pick-6. So everyone's still learning the game, and I think other people are making mistakes, and they don't appreciate that this game is, you're playing against other people, and you're not trying to necessarily get the receiver that gets 200 yards and get his over, because if he gets over by a yard or if he gets over by 100 yards, it doesn't really matter. The key is just getting your picks right. So I think there's an opportunity here, and that's why I'm trying to get as much down on Pick-6 as possible starting this week.
Yeah, so you said you made bold statements saying you're playing 35 to 50,000 this week. Where are you right now on that scale? Why are you going so big in week 3? Has anyone told you that it is only week 3? We got a lot of playing left to do.
Yeah, I got a little over 30,000 right now. I'll probably do another, 10 or so after we talk. But
Love it.
it's you got to strike while the iron's hot, and with Pick-6 you can see what other people pick in their contests after the picks are selected. You just you go to your my picks, and you go to recent, and you might have to click a little bit while, but you got to download it to your desktop. But I kind of did the work for you already, and I can tell you, they're not really correlating their picks that much. They just kind of choose 6 random picks. Sometimes they'll just choose the same stat, like they'll just focus on passing yards, or they'll focus on touchdowns. The key with this game is kind of telling a story with your picks. Like keep it to, one game, or keep it to just, a couple of stacks. Don't be all over the place. And from what I could tell, about 2/3 of people are just kind of way all over the place. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here if you kind of just focus on making sure your picks are correlated and make sense together.
So, main areas of improvement for what you're seeing, the mistakes other people are making, really just focusing on those stacks and correlating the teams correctly.
Right. Like if you're gonna choose a quarterback and his passing yards over, you might as well take a wide receiver and his passing yards over as well. At least one, maybe even 2.
Okay.
There's no point in just choosing a quarterback and not choosing a wide receiver. It's kind of pointless.
Hmm.
Those are just some of the ways. And if you're going to choose a quarterback with passing touchdowns and the receiver has a total touchdown, you might as well take that one as well. There's just ways to go about it. And the other thing is, don't just hit the over button. I mean, I've been hitting the over button a lot on like my favorite ones, so like maybe I can learn from my own mistakes. But like if you're taking a quarterback and his wide receiver over, maybe don't take the running back and the rushing over too, because like the other team's gonna have the ball at some point.
Right. So, how are you allocating these picks, this money? How much are you putting on one game? Give us the rundown.
So I try to have a good amount of picks. Like I don't. Let's see. I think they just logged me out of my pick set. Yep. They just
They're
logged
like,
in.
you cannot win anymore. We know what you're doing.
Yeah, they're like, you're not allowed to talk about this. So I gotta focus on logging in again. But I think I have about 70 pick sets. My goal is to get to like 80 to 100 or so.
Oh
So I
my
don't
God.
like if you're gonna do like let's say $1,000, don't just do $1,000 on one pick set. Maybe do like $100 on 10 different pick sets. So
Okay.
that way you got a little bit of wiggle room. And like let's just say you like one quarterback a lot. And there's like 3 or 4 choices for pass catchers. Don't just use the same two. Maybe spread it out a little bit. So that's why that way you can have a higher chance. The worst thing to do is be essentially right on a game, but you're just wrong on one player and you miss out. And all you got to do is make one other pick set and for a little bit less money on each pick set. And that way you kind of stay in the game. You don't feel like, oh man, I'm never going to win. It's just you're a little bit more. I guess like you lower your variance a little bit.
And during the games, are you watching these picks? Or are you just like setting them, leaving them, checking them after the game? How do you stay sane when you've got this
Okay,
much on
first
the
of all, I
line?
don't think I've been sane for like the football season in a long, long time.
This might
I
be true.
I tend to just kind of I generally know what I'm rooting for. Like if I have an over on a guy or under on a guy, so I generally know what I'm rooting for. And keep in mind, I got all my DFS lineups going on at the same time,
Yeah. Oh, I
so
know. You got a lot going on a
it's a lot
Sunday.
going on.
Because me,
So
like, I'm
honestly,
not
I just
betting
kind
as
of sit
many.
back and
I'm
just
watching it.
I'm just kind of watching it and just kind of like randomly cursing a lot. And once it gets to like the fourth quarter, I like really can hold on to those pick sets that make sense. And you'll notice, at least for me, because I'm doing a lot more, uh, most of the money is in the first pick set. Like people don't want to do the all day pick set as much as they like doing just the first set of games or even the second set of games. They don't really like doing like the all day pick set. And also the island games like the Sunday night game or the Monday night game, those are very popular too. But by the fourth quarter of the first set of games, I'm going to really probably know how I did a pick six for a lot of my money today because I do have the second set of games. I do have some all day game stuff going on too, but most people are playing the first pick set, so that's kind of what my focus has been on as well. And honestly, looking at my own picks, I feel like I got a little too much on these overs, but I could probably maybe do some final things like throw a few unders in there too, so I'm not getting totally annihilated. These games are just all incredibly boring.
Right. As you said, learning from mistakes. Betting some unders. We're going to get those in. So, getting down to the nitty gritty of it, what are some favorite games you're leaning towards today? What are some of your favorite stacks over and unders?
All right, let's see if I can get there. Okay, here we
Let's
go.
go.
Can we see my screen? Okay, I think we
Yes.
can. All right.
Yep.
All right, let's see. So the first game, I just can't help but like the Deshaun Watson overs. Everyone hates this guy. They don't think he can pass, but he's playing the Giants. So let's just say you start with the Deshaun Watson. You can use basically up to five guys to sack him with. I generally am going to go with like one or two. I'm not going to go with like four of them. I like Amari Cooper, of course. There's also, Jerry Jeudy seems to be holding up, but if you want to like instead go to his, Jerome Ford, that's fine too. That's one way I can go, and we could bring it back with Daniel Jones, or we could just go to a different game. If we're trying to force
Maybe
an
go to a
under,
different one.
maybe we could go with like a Jalen Hurts yards because like he's showing like maybe he's going to run the ball more. And I kind of talked to one of my sports betting articles that I just don't think that they're going to be able to pass it on this Saints team that much. So if we go with the Jalen Hurts under, we can maybe go with either Devontae Smith under or Dallas Goedert or I'm not even sure how much they're really going to be tossing it to Saquon Barkley. So we could go with any of these guys. Let's just say we go with Dallas Goedert. Now I have a pick 5, and in this way, if Devontae Smith ends up getting all the yards and he goes over 71.5, I don't lose. But this is the type of picks that I'm generally trying to make. Another way I could go about it is let's just take this Houston game and the total touchdowns. If I like Nico Collins to score a touchdown, I might as well take CJ Stroud to score 2 touchdowns. That's the type of picks I'm making. And in general, I kind of like this Texans passing today. Are they really going to just run the ball with Cam Akers and I'm not even trying to say his last name. But this Texans team is built to pass. So I like the passing game there. I like the passing game a little too much in these first set of games. Right. Another player I like is Bo Nix. I think maybe that's a sign that I like the passing games too much, don't you think?
Yeah, I was going to say. We're getting a little crazy now in our passing game.
Yeah, so with Bo Nix, I can go with Bo Nix completions over. And then I could, obviously Cortland Sutton's been very popular for him. Mm-hmm. But I also talked a lot about his tight end, Greg Dulcich. So, that's a nice little stack I can make here, too.
Okay.
And again, I just end up with all these overs. And when these games inevitably get really boring, that's going to make me a sad TwoGun.
Yeah.
So, maybe I'll force a few unders in there somehow. I don't know. It's like one of those things, I got to, force myself, okay, I look at all the pick sets I made, I'm like, over, okay. Have to do at least one under. Have to do just throw a dartboard and be like, okay, this guy I'm going to go under, and I'm going to correlate it with some other unders too, just to force the unders in there. Because the passing games have been pretty terrible this year in the NFL.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
I agree. Well, I think I'm going to go back and rewatch this after this show and be taking a lot of these picks. Because, man, I don't know if you're going to like my stacks for this week. I think I'm going to be one of those mistakes that you're going to have to be teaching me next week how to really dial this in.
For this week.
Well, I got to stick with my Rams. Very excited about
the
this
very
game.
hated Rams. All right, so we're there in a different pick set, so we're going to have to go to the afternoon.
Yep, we're going afternoon. I'm going straight to the primetime games. I'm excited, and even though my Rams are as injured as you could be, I think at this point, I think I'm sticking with Matthew Stafford over 216.5 passing yards. And people might think I'm crazy there, but the 49ers defense is ranked 22nd. That is low in defensive passing yards allowed. So let's use that to our advantage, even though might not be the obvious pick since Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are out. But the O-line is banged up too. So are we really going to rely on the run? We're going to find out.
If you could do Matthew Stafford over, Kyron Williams under rushing yards, and then let's just choose a wide receiver or two. Who do you like?
Yeah, find me a new weapon. You pick a weapon for me. I need a new.
No. I think I want to hear what Brooke says.
Oh God!
I want a little. I feel like you actually know a little bit more than you let on. So, which of these?
Let's see. I'm trying to zoom my eyes in on there.
You like Tyler Johnson, Colby Parkinson, or Tutu Atwell?
Oh, Parkinson. I'm liking Parkinson. Parkinson over 31.5.
You got 3 already. You can add in one more pass catcher, or you can kind of wussy out and just say Colby Parkinson.
I like that one.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you see, or you have a nice little stack of 3, and all you really need is one other player from another team to make a 4-pick set, or you could do another stack of 3 from another team and do a pick-6.
What do you think about going with the night game?
Do you want to take Brock Purdy over with over on the pass catchers?
Yeah.
Or no, you want to. You don't want to talk about the 49ers.
I don't really want to talk about them, but I think I have to. I think I have to be a smart butter and get off of my
All right. Well,
my Rams
over on a team, it's probably better to go over on the other team as well, or at least over on Jordan Mason rushing yards. Because, why is Matthew Stafford throwing it so much, right? It's probably because they're, it's a close game.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they're playing from behind because that's just going to make you mad.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to wake up and like the first thing I do is make Brooke mad because that's going to make the gods mad, and then I'm going to lose and I'm going to get smited.
I mean, it's not your fault.
It's not good. I've learned to not make blonde women angry. Like my wife is, white hair. I'm not even, I think she's blonde. I don't know. It's like strawberry blonde. We've been together for like 15 plus years. I don't know. You never really know a woman's hair color.
Come on.
Get with it.
Get with it. Hey, at least you're good at betting. We'll stick with that.
I don't know. There's some bets I just don't make. And angry blonde women in the morning is not what I do. That's one thing I've learned to, that's a bet that's not smart to make. So we're just not going to talk about. So the point is, you don't have to stack it with the 49ers. You can do a different game, a different team. That's fine. We don't even talk about that team from San Francisco that doesn't exist.
Right,
but,
right.
That's a good start, and I'm probably going to steal it, Brooke. I'm probably going to steal it. I'll fill it out with some other players later on. I like
it.
But
I like the night game too.
I have a lot of confidence in the Brooke stack. We'll see. It's at the end of the day, like it's a very low amount on Matthew Stafford. People are expecting very little. And like you said, like maybe that's what they have to do. They have to throw the ball. They can't really run the ball. And he actually might be a sneaky play in DFS as well.
Yeah.
Because of that. So let's leave it at that. Brooks Bills have done well, and maybe this is the week for Brooks Rams to do well. To do well, at least in the passing game this year.
I would like it. I mean, I'm here for it. I need them to pick it up a little bit, maybe not be so injured. You can't help that though. That's always the tough one. I do like the night game too. Are you betting on the night game tonight?
I love to do these night games on Pick-6 too. So the thing about Pick-6 is when it comes to the day games, you don't really focus on. I don't really focus on too much what other people are making because there's so many different picks that people could choose from.
Right.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't played Pick-6 and you're in a state, you only have to play for $5, and you get 50 free Pick-6 credits if you use this FTN code. So, like, all you have to do is play $5 of your own money, and you get 50 to keep playing. So, if you do $5 pick sets, that's 11 pick sets. So you can try at least 11 times, and hopefully one of those will win. It's more likely to win, obviously, if you do like a pick 3 or pick 4, but. Well, anyways, let's go to the night game. But what I was thinking about the night game is with these single games, people tend to really focus in on, overs generally on certain players. So this Thursday game, the Jets and the Patriots, Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I like? I liked Jacoby Brissett overs and the Patriots to cover +6.
You and your Jacoby Brissett.
I was just wrong. Like I thought Jacoby Brissett was going to get 200 yards. I thought the Patriots were going to win or at least keep it close, and that did not happen at all.
This happened week 1 too. You should learn about your Jacoby Brissett bets. This happened week 1 too.
Yeah, I got a problem. I don't know. Maybe I got like some weird Jacoby Brissett. I don't know why, but the thing is, I did okay at Pick-6 because I took the unders on the running backs. I took the unders on rushing on Breece Hall and Ramondre Stevenson, and everyone else took the overs. Everyone else took the overs on those guys, and that's the Jets basically killed them in the air with Mike Williams and Alan Lazard, and those guys were the ones who went over, not Garrett Wilson. So lots of people were wrong because people took Garrett Wilson overs, they took Breece Hall rushing overs, they took Ramondre Stevenson overs. So I had a few pick sets that still managed to be correct, not a full Pick-6, but I got like a pick 4 right and a pick 5, and I actually made money at it because the payouts were so high because everyone else's picks were even worse than mine. And all I did was take unders on a few guys that everyone liked. Or I just didn't take the overs that everyone else likes because everyone else was wrong too. So with these night games, you got to figure everyone's going to be on Mahomes over. Like everyone's going to fight Mahomes over, Rashee Rice over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Travis Kelce. Maybe everyone hates him by now.
It's tired of the.
And I think on Atlanta, people are probably going to love Bijan. I mean, Bijan's just been crazy, so they'll probably like this Bijan over. But what do you like in this night game? Brooke, is there something I didn't mention? Like, is there some non-public play that you like? Because I remember you told me
I
something before that I think is actually pretty sharp.
I like Kyle Pitts over 3.5 receptions. I think he's
I
slated to
like it
have a
too.
big game.
Everyone thinks he's out of this offense, and like you can just pair that with a Kirk Cousins completions over if you
Kirk
want,
Cousins over. Yes. I
or
mean,
you
the
could do
Chiefs
a
are allowing some big games against them, some big plays. I'm here for it.
well. Do you prefer Kyle Pitts receptions, or do you prefer Kyle Pitts receiving yards? His receiving yards is 39.
Oh gosh. I think I'm taking receiving yards then. I
All
didn't
right,
realize it
so
was that
let's
low.
wipe out. All right, so what we would do is we would just set this up, and that would be kind of your first part. And if you want to take, if you're going to say it's, you know what, if you want to go a little crazy,
Give it crazy.
throw in a Bijan under.
All right. Look at you getting the unders in.
Yeah, well, you know what? Actually, it's probably better to go rushing under because you have the Kirk Cousins passing over, so you throw a little Bijan rushing under. So you're basically saying Kirk Cousins is going to get it done in the air, and then you need at least um, one, what's called KC play. What's the one KC play you like?
I don't like anything KC.
If you like anything KC,
Just
when in
kidding. I
doubt,
like some players, but I just don't like their
okay,
team.
which player? You know what? Let's hate on Travis Kelce.
Give it
Let's
to
hate on
us.
Travis Kelce. And there you go. You got yourself a pick 4,
I like it.
and then you like it. And you're just basically saying Travis Kelce cares way more about Taylor Swift and being famous than catching the ball. And the rest of KC, I don't know what's going on with that.
Yes.
I feel like that's a very, sneaky pick 4 that no one else is, other people aren't going to really have. And if everyone else's picks were wrong, you'll get a nice high payout multiple.
All right. Well, I'm putting it in right after the show then.
Well, anyway,
I'm
I need
loving
to I need to talk to Blickle soon because we're about to cover the main slate for DFS
Absolutely.
subscribers. We've got our flagship show where we'll talk about DraftKings main slate and our GPP scores, which in general I need to listen to more on FTM because they've been doing great. They've definitely been doing better than me. So I feel like they're replacing me, Brooke.
Oh, well, I'm gonna jump over and listen to y'all on that one then. I'm gonna go put these picks in. I'm gonna rewatch this one and get my picks in. But
By the way,
TwoGun,
Brooke, whenever an old man says something replace you, the first thing you say is no one can ever replace you. That's just a key to like talking
I'm
to old men.
sorry.
Just talking to old men.
I was just gonna let you
Just so you know. I know you got like you got a lot of famous football family that are older than you in your life. So I think they can. I'm sure they would say the same thing.
TwoGun, you teach me a lot in life. I'm thankful.
I'm
Thank
like
you.
that.
TwoGun.
The old guy that's like sit around the fire and listen to him ramble, and you're just kind of sitting and you take in most of what he says is just rambling, but every now and then like he's got a point maybe.
You're the best. I appreciate these combos. All right. Well, thank you. Everyone turn over and listen to TwoGun talk some more on his next show. You guys have a good day and good luck, TwoGun. I hope you win it all.
All right, thanks, Brooke. Have a good day.